Welcome back, guys. This is going to be not my normal review of this knife, but I find it very interesting and I kind of want to get your thoughts on it, even though you don't have it in your hand. But you'll understand as we unpack what this is, and I would love to hear your thoughts back about it. So this is from Jesse James, West Coast Chopper, Monster Garage, you name it, off-road racer, all of that stuff. That's the guy. He's a firearms producer, like he manufactures firearms. And in 2017, he decided to make a knife company, the Jesse James Knife Company, which is also the Jesse James Culinary. I think the Culinary is like a line of Jesse James knives where they do some fancy custom chef knives. There's a whole lineup, and I'm going to put some links down below. But anyway, this is the first knife that they came out with. Standard cardboard packaging. Here is the actual part number. It's called the Nomad. Their certificate of authenticity, I think, is a little, I don't know, certified perfect by an authorized representative. All right, that's a bold statement. Bold statement, because this knife in and of itself, while it might be perfect in its design, well, perfectly made to fit what the design was, I'm not sure if it's a perfect knife, if that makes sense. It's a knife I don't understand. Well, I mean, I understand it. I get how it functions and what it does. But why? This is to me, well, I'm going to save my thoughts, save my judgment until the end or a little bit farther down. So this runs about $250 online. I found it anywhere from, one retailer said it was $550 MSRP, but they were selling it for $199. Blade HQ, I think, is $249. Knife Center is like $249. Like, so your major retailers are in that $250 range. It's Jesse James's take on a swing knife. And I'll put up here kind of a quote from him I found online so that you can see that. But how it works, it swings open. Okay? It swings open. The carbon fiber swings down. And then you have a fixed blade for practicality reasons, I guess. There's a little bit of blade play, and that is in this direction, kind of up and down direction here. So just the tolerances here on the scales, handle swinging part is a little bit odd. As far as side to side play, that is solid where this carbon fiber bail is, which is just a piece of carbon fiber. There is no, it's multiple pieces, a front and a back spacer that's bolted together with a pivot. I believe it's on bearings. It is AEBL steel and a titanium, I believe, frame, if you will. I like the Tonto blade. We'll zoom in here and get a close-up look. So I do like the blade shape. The carbon fiber is done well. So all in all, I mean, it's for what it is manufactured properly. These are made in the United States, according to the retailers' websites that I have found, and the quote that Jesse James made, that all of his stuff is going to be made in the United States. The culinary line, he does say, is handmade by him all the chef knives and stuff, but he doesn't. I can't find this particular knife or the fixed blade, and I'll throw a picture up here of the fixed blade, on any Jesse James websites. The only knife website I can find from Jesse James himself is the culinary version, where he does talk a lot about the El Diablo, which I know was a motorcycle line that he did. There is the El Diablo series of chef knives, lots of varieties, and there's some very cool looking ones. Those ones he does talk about being all handmade. This particular knife is not listed on that website. The fixed blade is not listed on the website. The only place I can find this and the fixed blade is retailers like Blade HQ, Knife Center, those sort of sites. Okay, so this is an odd and awkward knife to carry in your pocket because it kind of flops around in your pocket, rattles a little bit. This might be a good candidate for a clip slip, a slip that has a clip and you put in your pocket like a normal knife. Maybe, but to deploy this knife, to utilize this knife, it's awkward because half of the time that I pick it up and I do it, it opens with the edge up because you have to understand where the wording is and you have to open it up upside down. So the Jesse James wording is upside down and then it will open properly so that Jesse James is right side up in your hand when it's deployed. Okay, my thoughts on this is that it's a total novelty knife. It's a $250 novelty. I don't see carrying this as an everyday carry knife. I don't know that you would throw this in your car. And I get it. I've got some like fancy knives that are bordering on art knives that I don't carry every day, but I could carry them. They are comfortable to carry. They're semi-practical and cutting. This is not practical. It feels odd in the hand. It doesn't feel solid. I'm confused by this one. Their fixed blade I'm also confused by because it's $1,000. And it looks almost like a Rambo knife. Like, I mean, it doesn't, I don't know. And again, I see MSRP on those at like $1,500 marked down to $999, depending on the retailer. It's very odd to me. Even their chef knives, I've seen a couple. There was one that was super crazy Damascus and super exotic that it was listed for $11,000. Yeah. I have a 5-figure pocket knife. Here we go. And I don't have a problem with the value of this. A $11,000 chef knife, I have a problem with. And maybe that's just me. You guys can tell me in the comments that I'm full of it and I don't know what I'm talking about. And it's Jesse James. It's got to be worth $11,000+ chef knife. I don't know. What do you guys think of this style knife? Forget about who it's made by. I get it. This was a knife that he had when he was younger and whatnot. So he wanted to make that come back to life in his mind and whatnot. And I'm kind of, in general, I'm okay with that type of thinking and mentality. But yeah, it's just so awkward. I would never carry this. And I do absolutely carry my Frank Fisher Battle. 100%. I carry this. I've taken this to Hawaii with me. Actually, I took the smaller one to Hawaii. I don't think I took this one. But this does travel with me to knife shows for sure. It does go outside and get carried to events and dinners and just out for the day, to the office, things like that. It does get carried. This would never get carried because it's just awkward in the pocket. So I know I'm rambling now because I'm at a loss on this knife. So let me do a couple of quick size comparisons just so you understand its size, since I didn't measure it. I didn't do the dimensions and all of that. None of that stuff. So the Sharpie, the Spyder Codelica, the Kubi KB237, the Frank Fisher Battle, since I have it here. And this is a, roughly 4-inch blade. I think they list this as a 4-inch blade on their websites, things like that. Here it is next to the AA and D cell batteries, so it's not a small knife. It's a full-size knife. I just wish it was different. Wish I could get behind it. Because I really did like Jesse James up until he married Sandra Bullock, and I lost my chance, my celebrity crush. And so that, I can't like him after that, right? Is that a thing? Am I holding a grudge? Whatever. Anyway, Troy, thanks so much for loading this in. If you've made it this far in the video, please comment down below Monster Garage, just so I know that you got it all the way to the end.